Today on Nebraska WoodSTR, we've got the conveyor, we've got the wolf ridge, we're making piles, and update in the wood yard. Let's show you. Hey WoodSTRs, my name is Mike. Well, quick little update here, kind of bring you up to speed over the last couple of weeks. Well, actually the last week here. We had that load of mulberry and ash come in, and we've got that cleaned up, and a lot of that is sitting right here in front of the wolf ridge, and so that's working pretty good at this point. And tractor that's still running the conveyor. So yeah, we'll bring a little bit of that to you, but a little bit of an update here as we continue to sell. We're getting dangerously close to some camping season. So this weekend here was in the 80s, so that'll get people all excited. So the other thing, and I've been talking about this for a while, that we were going to find a different way to process this red elm or store it. So right here on the end of my dry pile, all that red elm is going to go and sit there, and we won't touch that again until we sell through that pile and we kind of get into that. Hopefully it's dried out there. I'll bring you over here. That last semi-load that came in was sitting right here, and it is gone. So we got that all snubbed up. You know, you find a little bit of time in the evenings, find an hour a day or half hour a day, and keep that saw and that chain going. You can buzz through it pretty quick. So we've you seen on the last one, we'll take that tractor once we get everything bucked up, start moving that back over to the wolf ridge, or to the elm pile right there. All the cookies and everything that's in odd ends stuff all ends up in the boiler pile, and then in the dry stuff they have, that's going in the oversized pile. So all in all, we're getting some stuff done here, and we've got enough room here for at least one more semi in case that call comes in. But we're going to keep working on these two loads. Like I said, most of those three that came in is 90% red elm, so most all of that will end up stacked right there. Do some drying before we run her through. So that's kind of the little bit of the update here. Been kind of gives a little bit of perspective over here as you look at the hand thrown WoodSTR bin versus the coming off the conveyor. Again, we're about another 1.5 foot or 2 higher on that, so we'll be able to get more volume, just stack it higher. So the only way that I could probably go a little bit higher, but my pallets that I'm using today, I think they are 42 inches. If I find some taller ones, we should be able to even go another 1.5 foot or 2 higher. So it's a good thing about owning property. You own everywhere straight down and all the way up. So all right, this morning I ran it. It's kind of my first time on the wolf ridge in front of the conveyor, so learning some stuff there. Dayton's been doing most of that here, so yeah, last night and this morning kind of got a good little run on it and figuring it out a little bit. As you can tell, this tractor is about unhandy of a spot to get it to reach over there and run my conveyor, but as we keep moving the wolf ridge this way to keep filling up those cribs, you'll see there's going to be a little bit of work on the backside. All of the cookies and chunks end up behind me, so before we start our new run, we'll have to get the tractor in here, get them cleaned up and moved up into the boiler pile, drop the blade, scrape her off, and start our new WoodSTR bin. So anyway, we'll bring some of this to you and show you how it's working. All right, here we go. All right, well, there you go. As you can tell here, as we continue to learn here, a lot of them pieces were falling in right there, but as I was picking up those 15, 20 pieces, I was thinking, man, how many went up the conveyor I didn't have to touch? So that's probably going to be the program. Isn't going to hurt anything down there. I was watching to make sure that none of those pieces were sitting there rubbing on that belt. We don't need to wear that out any quicker than what it's already going to be. A few of those get to rolling, you'll see right there, and just roll right off of the side. So a few on that side to pick up as well. Again, those little kickstands right there, catch some and peel them right off of there. But all in all, the next step is to move the Wolf Ridge down a little bit and get that thing repositioned. Kind of gives you a little bit of a perspective that I start with it straight right here and then just kind of work with the conveyor back there at an angle. Then we'll move the ass end of this thing over and kind of start at an angle this way and work our way that way so we're not having to move that all the time. So looks like my program right here is working out fairly well. I wasn't sure how many rounds I could dump here and get piled up into the WoodSTR bins without running into it with the Wolf Ridge when I need to move it. So we'll get that repositioned here, and yeah, things are looking up here in Nebraska. Appreciate you coming along with me today. Please hit all the buttons, and we'll see you on the flip side.